another episode of Mommy Needs a Break. It is a podcast for new moms who don't have it all together because we don't have it together, and that's okay. I'm Megan Thomas at Meg Scoop everywhere.
I'm Marisa Johnson, and she is Marisa J. I almost forgot. Make sure to follow Mommy Needs a Break on all platforms at MNAB Podcast. Make sure to check out our YouTube channel, like that channel, share it, subscribe, put the notifications on because we will be coming with some content over there. So support us. Check us out.
Yes, now we're talking about a lot of good stuff on today's episode. But first, since October is National Family Sexuality Education Month, our guest is a sex education expert in Texas, and she is the mother of twin toddler boys. Twin toddler boys. That's all I got to say. Y'all give it up for Chanelle Brianna Fisher.
Everybody. Hello.
How are you, Chanelle?
I'm doing great this afternoon. I'm feeling amazing, and I can't wait to talk about sex after a baby because it's a lot to unpack there.
Yes, there is, girl. First of all, let me just stop at the mom of twins, okay? Of twin toddler boys. How are you doing after this pandemic?
Well, being inside with them before they went to schools, they're 4 years old. So we were in the house all together for like a year, having to be creative every day. It's fun, but it definitely takes a toll on you. So I'm just thankful that they're able to be back in school, able to be in a safe environment. Their school is awesome. I get a break. They get a break from me because kids get tired of parents too. So, they may not tell us, but everybody needs a break. So yeah, I'm feeling relieved.
Yes, because we need that break, honey. Marisa's a super mom over here. She still got her kids, 2 days a week?
I got them every day. What?
Wait, I thought they were in school. So they're in school too, right?
For 1 week, and then they were back at home. With my kids. I love my kids. It's just, I think they're going to start again Monday, hopefully. Or Tuesday. Now it's Tuesday. We'll see. I don't know.
Okay, super mom. All right, y'all. It's time for Ain't No Shame. This is a segment where, of course, there's always some shameful moments we have as parents. But guess what? There ain't no shame in that because we take care of our kids and they're alive. So today's Ain't No Shame is for me. Ain't no shame in sleeping in while your toddler is wide awake, moving around your house.
Like, with nobody there?
What do you mean nobody? I'm there. I'm just asleep. I'm there. Okay. So basically what happened is, Maverick he's 3, and he's very independent, very I don't know where this brother got all this independence from, but he does everything. So in the morning, our bedroom is on the main floor. His bedroom is upstairs. So all he has to do is come down the stairs every morning. He comes to our room. So what happens is he'll wake up. He has this little urinal. He goes and he pees in his urinal. He dumps it out in the toilet. He cleans it out with water and soap. He puts it back. He changes his clothes. I don't even understand, but he changes his clothes. I don't know how he be, of course he don't be matching or anything, but he changes clothes, puts his socks on, and then he comes downstairs and I be sleeping in. Okay. And he's probably, it's extra 15, 20 minutes. It took him to do all of it. He probably playing with some toys or something, but this boy is he got it together. So I'd be like, oh, well, you don't need me. So my homegirls came and visited with their kids. And so the guest room's upstairs. So they were staying up there. And I kept getting these texts that morning, and they're like, so Mav is up. Do you need me to change his clothes? What do you do? What do I need to do with him? Cause he's up. I was like, oh, we just let him roam in the morning. He's good. And she was like, what? Cause one of my friend, her daughter's the same age as Mav. So she was like, you just let him roam? I was like, girl, he don't be doing that. He's very responsible. And so she was watching him do his morning routine. And she was like, I cannot believe this. Because at the time he was late twos. She was like, I cannot believe it. I was like, girl, he likes to be an old man and take care of himself. So I'd be like, do it, brother, do it. I showed him where all his underwear is. I showed him where everything was. I said, you're responsible. Here's your shirts. Pick it out. Do it all.
But no, I do the same thing. We have a gate upstairs. So I close the gate. I close all the doors. And then I go to sleep. and they're just roaming between, I guess, their room and like the little hallway, and that's really all they can do. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, that'll be fine if I just close my eyes for 10 minutes because they're just playing in their room. It's similar. There's no shame in that.
Not at all. I do the same thing as well. Like my kids will be up, they turn their own television on. If they want to watch something, they go in their closet, play, and I have a gate too.
Yeah.
So I'll be in bed like on a Saturday till like 10. They'll be up at like 7:30, come in, kiss me. I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna listen out for you. But then when they're too quiet, that's when something is up. Then I got to get up and be like, all right, now what are y'all doing?
Right.
Too peaceful.
Yeah. And I feel like it's never really like a full sleep. Like you're not in this deep snoring. The kids is just burning down the house.
But wait, can y'all like, I feel like ever since I had my son, I've never been able to sleep deep ever. Like any little thing wakes me up now. I used to be one of those, like the earth could shake. I remember I slept through earthquakes. I've slept through tornadoes. Like people be like, oh, this tree fell next to your house. I was like, did it? Like I used to never hear anything. But now that I have him, I cannot sleep through the night. Like every little thing, I'd be like, what is that? What is that?
Yeah.
Y'all be sleeping deep?
No.
It's not the same thing. Like my instincts.
Yeah.
Right.
I can hear. I hear them when they wake up, when they move around. One will start crying. Sometimes she says she had like, I can't sleep well. I'll hear like I hear everything, and the dad just be
snoring through it, right?
Through every single thing. Yeah.
I think that's just something God gave us because we have these babies in our body. I think that's why. Because I just be like, you don't hear none of that. You don't hear, and like, yes, my fiance will be like, oh, what time he coming to bed with us? I'm like, yeah, he done pushed you all the way to the edge. You didn't know what time he got in here. Me and him had a whole conversation. You don't know what time your son got in here? He was like, no, I didn't even know he was here. I'm like, well, I heard him come down the stairs. Okay.
That's funny.
Well, let's talk about you, Chanelle. I know you're, because of course it is National Family Sexuality Education Month, which is a mouthful, but we'll get into that. But let's talk about you. What got you interested in sex education and then teaching others about sex?
So I was just scrolling through Instagram and Twitter one day. And, sex is always a topic on all social media platforms. And I'm just like, and I've always known a lot about sex, not as much as I know now from like teaching myself, studying and things like that. But I was just looking like everything you guys are saying is inaccurate. It doesn't seem like people's sex lives are that exciting. And then I just start thinking like, I could provide the knowledge that I know, learn more, provide it to the world. And then I also started thinking about how when I was in school, there wasn't sex health education classes, but I know generations before us, there were sex health education classes. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you can see the effects now on adults that's had. So there needs to be a platform to teach everyone that's an adult about sex, because everyone wants to have sex, no matter what background you come from, no matter your financial status, everyone wants sex. So why not create a platform to teach everyone in a real, comfortable, and fun way?
I know, because it's such a taboo topic, especially in the Black community. I know, like, growing up, I think my sex talk was don't have it. Wait, what was it? I think, no, literally, I'm trying to like verbatim. It was so like short. I remember verbatim. I feel like my mom was just like, yeah, don't do that. Don't bring no kids in this house. And that was it. That was the extent.
We were just having this conversation 2 nights ago about periods. And I was like, yeah, when I got my period, I just remember my mom, I feel like I was super young too. I remember hearing my mom just pulling out, like getting a condom. Like I was young. Like I don't want to say 8, but like young.
What?
Like pulling out a condom, like talking about how you could get pregnant and it was scary. And then you could bleed on yourself. Like you can't leak on you. It was just all this don't. So then you walk around like, okay, I better not be doing this. But then I want to know, like, why can't I do it?
Exactly. And then when as women or as young girls, we were taught like, it's going to hurt. It's going to be so painful the first time that you have sex. And it's just like, now I'm scared, but I'm also interested. So it's like, what's the real on it? I was blessed enough though to have a mom to teach me about periods and sex at an early age and in a real way. So I did at least get that experience. But just being taught around your peers, I feel like that makes a difference. And that's something that we're not provided with. And there needs to be a whole lot more of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like that. That's good. That's good.
So we're all moms, and this show in particular is having sex after a baby.
Yes.
I feel like with my first daughter, sex was the last thing on my mind. I was in pain. I had stitches. I was looking at my body like, who is this? What is going on down there? Why does it look like this down there? What do you teach or what do you tell women after they have a baby, about sex? How can we feel, sexy? How can we just adapt to our new normal, I would say, after having a baby?
Yes. So the same thing happened to me. I delivered my twins vaginally, and I had stitches, and with trying to breastfeed and just the stresses of motherhood in the very, very beginning, sex was the very last thing on my mind. I was just trying to get some sleep, trying to make sure my house is a little clean, whatever. And the tips I can give to new mothers is just to start building your confidence. Don't look back on your old self or on your old body, because you're never going to go back to your old self, which is not a bad thing. Right. You become a new and improved self. Mm-hmm. So some things I did, I started to purchase lingerie. I purchased a camera, a tripod, and this wasn't necessarily to record sex. You just record.
Wait, what?
Like, building your confidence. When you see yourself on camera, you can critique yourself. You can appreciate your new self. So I would do things like that. I would be in the mirror, just building my confidence. And
I need to do that, because I'd be like, oh, this is hideous. Let me run away. Ugh.
Wait, what would you do? So you would put on the lingerie and you would just film yourself, or you would film yourself having sex? Like what? I don't know.
Both, actually. Oh. But filming myself, I would just like kind of be in front of the camera, looking sexy, acting like I'm a model, maybe like a Savage Fenty model or something, because I really love their lingerie.
Girl.
Making sure the lighting is right. And then after, just looking through and just appreciating the body after motherhood, because mom bodies are beautiful. Right. It's easier to say that than to believe it. But the more you tell yourself, the more you study yourself and not compare yourself to others. That's number one. Don't compare yourself to others. Just appreciate the body that you have after. Recording myself as far as having sex is something that will also build my confidence, because I would see myself and my partner appreciating one another, him appreciating my body, and just, it just helps. It just really helps the mindset believe like, this is me, this is beautiful, the new me. And it shows you what you can improve as well, because we can improve ourselves always.
Oh, Chad, I'm gonna have to. That is like 15 steps away from where I'm at. Okay, I was over here like, what? I gotta look at myself in lingerie. Oh my god!
Like the lingerie part, I literally bought a monthly subscription for the Savage Fenty.
And like, you don't necessarily have to record yourself, but just even walking around the house, and it doesn't have to be lingerie. It's whatever you feel sexy. And some people want to wear a big T-shirt to feel sexy, which is cool. But just whatever makes you appreciate your body the most, walk around the house in that. And
that's good.
Really love your
one. I'm on step one. I could do the lingerie.
Start there. I'll start there.
I'll start. I'm not there yet. I'm not step two.
I think I'm gonna do that. I feel like I have like only a few lingerie pieces, but they're like, first, girl, I'm on one. I'm on 0.5. Okay. At least you got the Savage Fenty. I don't even have any. Okay, I got a 0.5.
Just log on. Just make an account.
No, I am. So, I mean, I'll start there. I'll try that and see how I walk around, look at myself. I think that's the thing is, what you tell yourself is what you start to believe. And so I am just going to start saying more and more, Megan, you're beautiful. Your body's beautiful, because that is the truth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, honest to God truth, like what our bodies are able to accomplish. You had twins, Chanelle. Like, you pushed out two big head little boys. Okay. Like, that is amazing.
And another thing, I think that, the comparing ourselves to others, maybe celebrities or influencers who have also had children and tend to snap back. I'm not saying that every single one of them does this, but we have to keep in mind that a lot of them can afford to have certain procedures or join certain classes maybe, or go through different cosmetic altering things to help them snap back fast. We will all love that, but just try not to compare yourselves to people who have the advantage to do that, because that can be a big mistake. That'll definitely make you believe that you're not that beautiful, or, oh, how did they snap back to this? There's something wrong with me. Just try not to compare yourselves.
Okay, no, that's good. That's some good advice. Okay, wait, Chanelle. So you said, okay, filming yourself having sex and then like reviewing it with your partner. The first time you did this, was you like cringing, or was you like, okay,
Yes.
girl? Oh, okay.
No, definitely cringing. I'm like, this is weird to see, but when you're watching it with your partner, it makes it more comfortable because you're just kind of reliving in the moment, sharing laughter with it. Don't take yourself too seriously. Like, you can laugh at yourself and, just watch yourself have fun. That'll just help you really build your confidence. That's something that really helps me. And I think it could definitely help a lot of people.
Oh my gosh, I am so silly. Like, this is where the comedic side comes out for me. I swear I probably would just make jokes. Hey there, big boy. What's up with you?
But that's great. Role playing is something I definitely recommend too. If you role play on camera, that's something you can go back and look at and laugh on. Because I'm the same way. Like, during sex, I like to be silly and sexy. So
you actually do that, Megan, or that's what you actually do?
No, I'm saying if I see a camera, that's what I'm going to do. It's not to me, it's no longer sexy. Now it's just hilarious, and that's the problem, because it's gonna go from like, this is supposed to be sexy, I'm gonna be like, hey, you lover boy.
You can be like, you guys can do Cops and Robbers or something like that then.
Child, this is not gonna be a porno. It's gonna be a comedy, okay? They're gonna be like, what is this?
Well, what about the sex after? I was gonna say sex after marriage, sex after pregnancy, the tired part of it, because I have been realizing that. Well, one, I need to be more intentional, because I'll be like, oh, I'm tired, and I just. He'll know I'm gonna go to bed,
right?
Roll over, put my yes. But there was a month where I was just like, oh my god, I'm tired, but I'm gonna fight through this time. I'm gonna go in the bathroom and get cleaned up and get cute. But I was so tired that I had to like be intentional, and it was only for a month.
No, and it's very normal. So after pregnancy, the hormones they may become imbalanced. So that definitely affects us being tired or us having energy. So my best advice is to work out and take vitamins, because that helps balance the hormones again. So we tend to lose a lot of blood from, just monthly cycles after pregnancy. So iron pills helps build all of that back up, which increases the libido. And then working out, like I was saying, that helps balance out the hormones as well. And I would recommend scheduling lovemaking as well. That sounds boring. It can make it sound like a chore, but when you not schedule it like, oh, at 8:15 p.m. we have to go ahead and start the sex. Not like that, but like during the day, say when babies are newborns, they sleep a lot. You can say, okay, I've prepared the milk, I've cleaned the house. So as soon as I'm done with that, we can schedule 10-minute section of having lovemaking. I would just recommend that. Vitamins and supplements, though. That's number one. Vitamins and supplements, because we have to revive our bodies again, because we've lost so much. And did you breastfeed by any chance, if you don't mind me asking?
I exclusively pumped for like 6 months.
Not really, kind of.
Well, that's another thing.
I did pumping for 6 months.
Megan did.
That can affect the libido as well, because when you're releasing breast milk, that releases oxytocin, and oxytocin is a feel-good chemical, and you're giving that feel-good chemical to the baby, which is the same chemical that's released when we're having an orgasm. So that's definitely draining you. So you just have to take vitamins and supplements. That helps a lot. Like sea moss and maca root are two supplements that definitely help with increasing the libido. I recommend that to like all moms. Seriously, it really helps.
Okay, now that you're talking about breastfeeding, let's talk about that. So let's be honest. any type of nipple stimulation, whether it's from a baby, from a crying baby, from your shirt rubbing up against your boobs, whatever, is going to cause your boobs to leak. So let alone like getting into sex. So what do you do when you're having sex and your boobs are just like, that's
Shooting
like,
out, shooting out milk. That's definitely an awkward situation. I did
yeah.
have those kind of like same issues, but it's best to have a partner that's not uncomfortable with those type of things, whether it's your partner that you procreated with or a partner that you are currently dating, getting to know. It's best to have that conversation with them beforehand if they're not used to it, because it's nothing to feel uncomfortable about. It's natural. It just needs to be two mature adults that know how to handle that, because it can be weird. Like, it's just like leaking out everywhere. What are you supposed to do? But I would just say have a towel handy on the side, wipe it off. Everybody has, their kinks, their fantasies, whatever. But there's some people some guys that probably don't mind it. They're probably like, hey, it can leak all over me. So that's why it's best to just have a conversation with the partner beforehand, because you never know. They might not even care. But a towel handy would probably be the best thing, because it's not necessarily healthy to stop the breast milk from coming out. People say use cabbage leaves to dry out the breast milk and things like that. But if that's not something you want to do and you want to continue to give your babies that breast milk, just have conversations, because it's going to happen.
You brought up, I'm going to go off topic a little bit, but you brought off your partner being comfortable because nothing should be embarrassing. So it made me think of this. Right. And Megan, don't make this the clip, okay? Megan be making things clip. Don't make it the clip. What do you do?
Promise nothing.
Not what do you do, but how do you handle, I don't know if this is the proper term. I don't know what the scientific term is. Queefing.
So that is scientific. That's
is it? Oh, okay. I don't know. I thought it was like.
So with queefing is like super normal to everyone out there. Queefing's normal. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just air being released from the vagina, because there's something going in and out of it, and that air is going in and out as well. It just sounds like a fart.
I'm always like, it's air.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I always tell them, I'm like, it's air.
Yeah, it's just air being released. It's not a fart. It's nothing even close to that. It's literally just air being released, because air's going inside and out. It's going to happen.
You know what I think about when queefing happens? I always think about, like, how they tell you when you have mascara, you're not supposed to like go in and out like this, because you're putting like air in it, and then it gets like bacteria and stuff. And I always think about that. I'd be like, yeah, you're just supposed to go like this with your mascara so that it stays intact. I don't know why that comparison crosses my mind, but I just be like, I'm a queef my mascara.
With that sound when you're pushing it in and out, yeah. So
I was thinking a whoopee cushion. Like a whoopee cushion. I don't know.
No, here's what I was going to ask you though about the whole like leaking breast milk situation. What, like, I think for me, because I didn't have a high supply, so I really was just like, I need to save a lot. This can't be going to waste. Okay, I can't just be spreading it and can't be doing that. So one thing that I think, like, I don't even know, I can't remember, because it's been that first year of Mav's life. I don't really remember nothing, y'all. But I feel like what I would do is, like, I'd have my nursing bra on, and I had these little what were they? They like are milk catchers. Like they're like circles, and then they have like a silicone backing, but then the backing has like a hole in it. You're supposed to like stick your boob on it, and then like it catches milk. I feel like I always had that in there to catch. So I feel like, look,
that's a great alternative for sure to have that way while having sex. Yeah, that way none of it's going to waste, and it's not a mess. So why not?
There you go.
Why not?
Save your liquid gold, ladies.
That's funny. So we went over having sex right after the baby, obviously, getting back into the mood and all that. Now, fast forward, you have kids, 2-3 years, you have twins. How do you make time for sex in the day-to-day life with the twins, being home with the kids, cooking dinner, you said cleaning the house, all these things. Then what?
So I like to, well, since they're in school now, that makes things much easier. So if I decide I want to have sex on a certain day after handling all my responsibilities, now that they're in school, it makes it much easier to want to get in the mood, or gives me time to get in the mood. They have a scheduled bedtime now, and I can schedule lovemaking once they go to sleep. So I do recommend having a schedule for your children, because then you can implement, makes it easier to implement sex, makes it so much easier. So for me, it's just keeping a strict schedule and making sure that I have time to please myself too.
What does that mean?
Either through masturbation, or either through give me 1 second, ladies, my light went off. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Like I was saying, so scheduling sex, sorry about that. Give me 1 second to revive. All right. As far as pleasing myself, I would say through just having different sex toys to warm myself up, and then letting my partner know I want to have sex, or having lots of foreplay. Foreplay is key to having sex after a baby, because it gets you warmed up, makes you feel comfortable. Your partner's making you feel confident, feel sexy. So I would say about like 10 minutes of foreplay before having sex. Just scheduling that in. Make sure that you always have time for sex, whether that's right after you're cleaning, whatever. Quickies are your best friend when it comes to postpartum sex.
What about like fixes for low libido?
Yes, fixes for low libido. Some of my go-tos are raspberry leaf tea that helps balance the hormones. I mentioned sea moss. Sea moss is great because not only does it give you most of the vitamins and minerals that you need, it also helps boost libido. And maca root, which is a tree root from South America, it definitely helps with boosting the libido in men and women. So this is good for dads too, and for moms. So those are some of my go-tos. Kiwis. Kiwis contain a lot of vitamin C, and not only does it help fluids taste good and increases lubrication, it also helps boost the libido as well.
Wait, is that that's real? Like,
That's true?
Yeah. And they help you sleep better too. So that's great for moms as well.
What? Wait, is that true? Like I remember Erykah Badu was telling people they had to what was it? Eat like natural cranberry to make their juices taste better. Like that's true?
Yes. So cranberries definitely help fluids taste a lot better, and any vitamin C. Whether it's lime, any citrus fruits, whether it's limes, grapefruits, lemons.
Grapefruit right now, guys.
Exactly. I like to drink detox water, and that definitely helps my fluids taste delicious.
Wait, does he tell you that, or how do you know that?
Like, is he like, oh, notes of kiwi and orange in here? Like this.
Can I get really explicit?
Huh?
Can I get really explicit?
Yes, girl. This is the internet. Yeah. Do what you do.
So either he'll tell me, or I'll taste myself off of him, or taste myself off of his fingers. And that's how I'll know.
You taste it? You taste the grapefruit?
No, not taste the grapefruit. Like taste my fluids off of his fingers.
It just makes it.
Okay. I know, but does it taste like a fruit?
It'll end up. When you drink lime water or eat a lot of limes, you can taste the lime. I haven't necessarily tasted the grapefruit, but it just gives the fluids like no taste at all, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
It gives like the regular vagina taste.
It out. It's like
clean.
Okay, I can understand.
But cranberries are number one. I like to put them into my smoothies. So definitely cranberries are key.
And these are these like dried cranberries or raw cranberries, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter, but not cranberry juice cocktail, because that contains a lot of sugar. So any raw cranberries, whether it's dried, whether it's whole cranberries, whether it's crushed cranberries, all of them are definitely perfect.
Well, cranberry sauce. Thanksgiving, ladies.
Yes,
pack your plate up. Pack your plate up.
Exactly. Definitely.
That is funny.
That is great. Okay. So let's talk about, October is National Family Sexuality Education Month, which basically is just about talking to your kids about, sexuality and sex. So how do you talk to your children about sexuality without feeling awkward? Give us some insight on that.
Okay, so with my children being only 4 years old, we don't talk about, sex as a whole, but I do teach them about their genitals. I don't teach them in a way where I give it a nickname. I don't say like, your wee wee or your pee pee or anything like that. I give the scientific terms. I say penis, vaginas. I let them know, no one touches your penis or your vagina except for yourself. And, things of that nature. If anyone tries to make you uncomfortable, let me know. But once they get older, I do plan on teaching them right away because of how social media is right now. I don't want that to be their first teacher. I'm going to be completely honest with them. I'm going to teach them about STDs, condom safety, and then, if they decide to experiment with unprotected sex, I want to make sure they have a lot of knowledge about that too. Because, we're going to experiment. We're human beings. We're going to get curious. So
Right.
I will teach them about, about safe sex, about unprotected sex, and just telling them the after effects of what can happen and plan Bs, birth controls, things of that nature. I'm going to teach them about, lubrication, pre-cum, and things like that. And I do recommend parents also start educating themselves on those things in detail so they can share that with their children. Yeah. Don't let your children rely on Google for the answers. You want them to be comfortable enough to come to you about those things. I want to teach them about not only just heterosexual sex, but just all types of sex. Just so they're able to have that knowledge and they can share it with others if others are wrong, and they can go into having sex with the knowledge that they're supposed to have. So I just recommend parents be completely honest. And when they're very young, like mine, don't give things nicknames.
Yeah.
Because that just causes a confusion. There's nothing wrong with your children referring to their genitals as penis and vagina, and referring to condoms as condoms, and pregnancy as pregnancy.
Right. What age
That's funny.
do you plan on teaching them, or what is the appropriate age you think when you would start?
I think the most appropriate age now, with the times that we're in, is probably 8 years old, with the introduction to what it is. I know that's very, very young, but we're in times where, like, internet dating is a thing, or, kids can be playing things like Roblox or Minecraft, whatever the kids play nowadays. And there's online chatting on there. So, you want to let them know as early as possible the dangers, the safety, and things about sex. So I definitely
important, because when we think about when we were 8 and we're like, oh my gosh, like, someone talking to us. But like when I think about these 8-year-olds these days, they're so, because of how society is, I guess there's just been a lot of desensitizing to what they see. So they've become a lot more mature quicker. And, as a parent, I'm like cringing, like, I got to talk to Mav about that at 8. But like, I want him to be very well educated. You know what I'm saying? I don't want him to go through the world like because of my discomfort. You're going to learn about these STDs. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have a slideshow, all right? He's going to be the only 8-year-old that can spot gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis, whatever. I mean, what is this one? This syphilis? What's this bump look like to you? Is it a herpes bump? He going to know this stuff, okay? He's going to be like, oh, he's going to hate me so much. I'm going to be like, tell your friends. I'm going to call their mama and tell them they can come over here and learn this too. All y'all going to be able to identify.
As far as being letting your discomfort, stop you from teaching your children about sex, you make a great point. And there's ways to get creative. So that's also another thing. And I didn't think about this until just now. You can draw up charts, you can draw STDs and show them like, what's what, and have them be able to point out what's what. And I think it's important to teach the children why sex feels good as well. We're releasing endorphins, we're releasing oxytocin, and that's what makes the sex feel good. So not only is it sex health education that we're teaching our children, we're also teaching them science. We're teaching them about biology as well, which is beneficial to all of us. So I think that we shouldn't focus too much on the dangers of sex or pregnancies. Of course, make that key, but also let them know why these things feel good and why we're interested in them and the purpose of sex. Very important.
What do you think about, because you both have boys, I have 2 girls. What do you guys think about the double standards of teaching women versus men, or boys versus girls about sex, and what do you think the responsibility is to teach the men about women? I would say children.
I think that is very responsible for. I think it's our responsibility to teach boys about sex just as much as we teach girls. I feel like everyone should be learning the same things. Like they should be learning about guys, well, boys, since we're talking about children, they should know everything there is to know about pregnancies. Although they're not the ones in control of the woman's body when it comes down to it, they should still know what's what so they can be able to so they can know how to navigate through that situation as well. Because whoever you're having sex with, you guys are one in that moment. If you guys procreate, you guys are one for the rest of your lives. So the double standard is very irritating because everybody should be educated on the same thing. Mm-hmm. So I think that's our responsibility.
And like, it's so funny because like, I remember so I was talking to my fiance and we were talking about how like, you know, he has 3 boys, including Mav. So he's always just been like, yeah, you know, like what most men do, which is like, you know, like the talk of what sex is and how to protect yourself, but also like, yeah, go for it. Yeah. Most men are like that with boys. But when it comes to girls, they're still not like, yeah, go girl, go out there and have sex. So I think that it just, to me, I want to make sure that conversation is the same. So like, you know, while I have one child, my conversation with him is obviously, you know, this is everything that sex encompasses. This is what STDs look like. This is, you know, what is like. I'm going to go through all of that with him, but I'm also going to go through the portion that people reserve for girls, which is value what you have. You know what I'm saying? Don't be don't be putting your seed everywhere. Don't do that. And so I think that's the piece that I really wish people would tell boys, you know, like, make your penis valuable. Don't just be, hey, everybody, I have a penis and I am ready. No.
And then sex is an energy exchange. And that's something that a lot of people don't talk about as well. Like everything's an energy exchange. We're all talking right now. This is an energy exchange. So I think that we need to focus on that too and let children know, like, whoever you choose to have sex with, you're kind of taking on their energy, the things that they're dealing with. You know, if they have some personal things going on that may cause depression, anxiety, not saying that they're going to necessarily have depression and anxiety. It's like, you know, but that's who you're choosing to share an intimate moment with. So also take that in mind because it could possibly affect you in certain ways that you may not even realize. So I think that that's something that adults need to be taught about that a lot too.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that just goes into valuing yourself, like you were just saying.
That's good.
Yes. Marisa, have you said anything to your kids yet? Or at least to Halo about her like body parts?
Yeah, I think I say vagina. I just talk about her vagina. Why are you touching your vagina? But you know what I do? I try not to get because this used to happen to us. Like, don't touch your private. Don't touch it. Why are you doing that? So sometimes I'll see her like grabbing it and she'll like laugh. And I'm like, what are you doing? Are you touching your vagina? She's like, yeah, it's funny. And I'm like, oh, it's funny? Like, I just kind of acknowledge that she's doing it, but I try not to, like, my natural instinct, like, girl, what you doing? I try not to do that.
That's good that you don't do that because that makes her comfortable enough to want to come to you about anything when it comes to her vagina. Like, if you were to be like, hey, why are you doing that? Then she'll probably be like, okay, I'm ashamed. And if I have a question, like, why do you want to ask?
I think it's just right now, it's just helping her, like, wipe herself and, like, hey, look, you got to clean yourself. Did you go to the potty? Like, showing her how to wipe herself. The other day, we actually were talking about this. She is always interested in my pads for some reason. Mommy, you want your pads? Bobby.
These big stickers that you have.
Just yesterday, she was like, Mommy, can you write your name on your pads, please? And she's like, Mommy's pads. Literally, I'll show you. It says Mommy's pads because she wanted me to write my name on them. But she is always in the bathroom with me, obviously, because I can't get a moment. And so yesterday she saw like blood, some on my period. She's like, Mommy, why is that blood? And I was trying to find the words. What did I say? I said, you know, Halo, when you get to be a big girl like Mommy, sometimes you have to clean out your body. You have to clean out the insides like a smoothie. Because she drinks smoothies because she's like, oh, this makes me.
Oh my gosh, Marisa.
I was trying to think of the words because she's scared when her nose bleeds. So I didn't want her to be afraid. So I'm like, mommy has to like cleanse out like a smoothie. You know, when you drink a smoothie, you cleanse. And she's just sitting there like, what? Why is there blood? And so she's always in the bathroom with me. I mean, that's like,
yeah.
So those are the only things I've been forced to figure out what to say to not freak her out.
Yeah.
But that's it so far.
I like how you put that though, because I mean, we pretty much are like cleansing our bodies out when we are having our period. So that's a great way to start it for sure.
Yeah, she understands drinking smoothies and like, because she goes, Mom, I gotta go poo poo. Like I drink a smoothie. I need to go poo poo. Can you make me smoothie? So she understands that concept. So I was trying to relate it to. I don't know. Who knows?
That is good though. That's good. I remember the first time seeing my son touch his penis. I was like, first, as a woman, like we don't, the closest thing we come to understanding a penis is any penis we've come in contact with. So to see like your son, like the body exploration, like I remember, I think he was like 6 months was the first time he touched his penis, and he kept going like this with it, like squeezing. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I like call his dad in, and his dad's like, it's fine. And I was like, I know, but like, I don't have a penis. So like, like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to look away when he's doing this? Like, what do I do? And his dad was just like, Megan, it's fine. Like, it's just let him have his little time. So I was like, okay. So I just got to let him touch his penis. And I just, all right. Have
literally the same thing happened to me. Like when my kids were like doing it, I'm like, I went to their dad and I'm like, like, what should I do? And I asked him the same thing. I'm like, should I like walk out? What should I do? And he's like, it's totally fine. And then one time, like one of my sons was constipated and he's like on the toilet, like holding his cheeks together. And like his like penis was erect. So I'm like, I'm going to his dad. I'm like, what's going on? Is everything okay? He's like, he's fine. I don't even know why you're tripping. Just leave him be. He's like, it's so normal. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's like, so we don't have penises. We don't know.
Yeah. And I think that that's why it's really important for us to just teach both genders about both genders, genitals. And I was going to make a point and say that it's very important for boys to know what women go through with their vaginas when it comes to like yeast infections, bacterial vaginosis and things, so they can determine what those things are too. Because once they have girlfriends or they have wives, they can be able to help when it comes to those complications. They can be an asset and not be an irritation or something, or try to make fun of them or things of that nature.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh yeah. I like that. That's really good. What was I going to ask you? We got to wrap up here in a moment, but if people want to find out about you, or do you have any projects coming up, let us know so we can.
Yes. So you guys can follow me on Instagram at Seductive Source. That's my brand name. That's where I post videos. I post not graphic images. I post digital images showing different things about sex. I just touch on different topics, whether it comes to vaginal health, penile health, ways to just increase your libido, talking about different complications when it comes to sex. So they can follow me on Instagram at Seductive Source. You guys can also follow me on TikTok at Chanelle Brianna. Brianna is spelled Brianna with 3 A's at the end. Ooh, so you guys can follow me there on TikTok.
Triple A.
Yes.
Triple A.
Well, thank you so much. This was very informative. I didn't know where this conversation was going to go. Like, what direction are we going to take this?
This was fun, ladies. I really appreciate it. Again, I truly apologize for earlier. I promise I was prepared. Don't know what happened, but I really enjoyed talking to you guys. This is actually my first podcast. So
really?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I was kind of nervous, but I'm very excited. I'm very, very happy.
Great. Great. So we have one last segment before we get out of here. It's called I'm Fine. It's our segment to just give a little inspiration to all the moms and dads out there. And in relation to the topic today, it's not just about being sexy. It's about being confident and being confident in my sexuality. And that is from Meg Thee Stallion. And I thought it was perfect for today, especially for having sex after a baby. We still need to have it. We still desire it. So we might as well enjoy it while we're doing it and feeling good and feeling confident. I feel like sex is always better when I feel good. So
Yes.
that was that.
Oh yeah,
Totally
faux show.
agree.
All right, y'all. It's been great taking a break with you. We hope that you'll take a break with us again next week because we have upcoming shows that are lit with some great mommy and daddy guests. Please follow our guest, Chanelle Fisher. Where can they follow you at again?
You can follow me on Instagram at Seductive Source, or you can follow me on TikTok at Chanelle Brianna with 3 A's at the end. Triple A.
And awesome. And I'm Megan Thomas, also known as Meg Scoop, everywhere on the internet. For exclusive footage, giveaways, you can check out our Patreon, become a patron, go to our website.
Yeah. And Marisa Johnson, and she is Marisa J. And make sure to follow Mommy Needs a Break on all platforms at MNEB Podcast everywhere. And we will be back next week, hopefully. Yes.
Bye.
Bye.